As a college student, I've been dreaming of this perfect laptop, something between an ultra portable laptop that's slim and lightweight, and something like a regular laptop that's powerful but not exactly slim. For the past month, I've been using Razer's latest Ultrabook, the Blade Stealth, and I have to say, it's not the laptop of my dreams, but it's pretty darn close. I'm Robert Rosenfeld with Techno Buffalo, and this is a review of the 2017 Razer Blade Stealth. So first things first, this is the gunmetal version of the Stealth, and it's only available in the 13-inch model. And with that gunmetal Stealth, you're gonna lose a couple of things. You're not gonna get that backlit illuminated Razer logo on the exterior of the laptop, and you're not gonna get the option for all the colors of the rainbow RGB chroma backlit keyboard. Razer's really going for more of a business, kind of an understated, for lack of a better word, stealthier looking laptop for an audience that wants it. And those two things you're gonna lose, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. So one of the first things that stood out to me about this laptop was just how it was built and how light it is. And I know that we live in this digital age and it's kind of assumed that college students don't use textbooks anymore. And as much as I wish that was true, it's not exactly true. I still have to carry a bunch of books for classes, so the weight of my laptop really does matter. It's thin, it's lightweight, it comes in at under 3 pounds, and it's just built to feel very premium. And for the price tag that this thing comes in, I wouldn't really expect anything less. So it's a slim and lightweight Ultrabook, but it's made by Razer, so the specs aren't gonna be too bad. Inside this thing is a dual-core i7 processor, 16 gigs of dual-channel memory, a 256 gig PCI-based SSD, and Intel HD 620 integrated graphics. And yes, it's got integrated graphics, but we'll go back to that in a minute. One of the most important things on a laptop is the display, and the display on this Stealth is actually really good. It's a 13-inch Quad HD Plus display with a resolution of 1300 by 1800. It's not 4K like you'll get in the smaller version, but it's a really good looking screen. Watching videos on this thing was a pleasure. Colors just seemed to pop off the display. Text was super sharp. Even just plain text on a web page looked really good, very easy to read. It's a really nice display. It also has touchscreen capabilities built in, which is really nice, and it works well in Windows 10. Though I'd say for the 98% of the time I didn't care about the touchscreen, it was just a really good display. And I like that Razer didn't make any sacrifices to push that touchscreen technology into the display. But as good as this thing is indoors, outdoors is where it really starts to crumble. If I'm outside like this on an overcast day, I just can't see the screen very well. The screen just doesn't get very bright. And that's really my biggest knock on this thing, is that I love this display inside, but outside it just doesn't look good, if it's even readable at all. But for as bad as this display is outdoors, I can almost forgive that entirely just for how good this keyboard is everywhere. It's just a really good keyboard. I've typed a lot over the past month on this, everything from notes in class to Slack messages to emails to papers, and it's just a really comfortable keyboard to type on. It doesn't have as much travel as a full-size mechanical keyboard, but if you compare this to the chiclet style on the new Apple laptops, like on the MacBook and the MacBook Pro, I would totally, any day of the week, prefer this keyboard over that, just because it has a little bit more travel and it feels more like a full-size keyboard. Below that keyboard is a full-size trackpad, which I also really happen to like. And on the 2017 version of the Stealth, it now supports Windows 10's precision drivers. So that means it supports gestures, it's very fluid, very nice to use, and I just really had a good time using it. And as a whole, it's a really good-sized trackpad, especially considering that this is an Ultrabook. Speakers built into the Stealth are pretty good. They're laptop speakers, so they don't carry a lot of bass or a lot of volume, but they're decent if you're just gonna listen to music or watch a couple of videos. I know that battery life is always a very hot button issue when it comes to laptops, especially Ultrabooks, and I'm pretty happy to say that I got really good battery life out of this Stealth. I was easily able to make it throughout a full day of classes with note-taking and web research and reading a bunch of PDF documents online, also with a little video watching and maybe a little video editing sprinkled in there as well. But then again, do keep in mind that this is an Ultrabook, so any CPU-intensive task is going to eat away at that battery life, though the Stealth does have USB Type-C, so you can charge this thing with a battery bank on the go if you want. Speaking of USB Type-C, let's talk I/O. The Blade Stealth has 2 USB 3.0 ports, a headphone jack, a full-size HDMI port, and a USB Type-C Thunderbolt port that you can use for charging, as well as any fast storage devices or something like a Razer Core. As a student, I spend a majority of my day researching things, taking notes in class, maybe watching a couple of videos in between classes, and maybe a little gaming here and there. And I'm happy to say that the Blade handles all that really well. I was able to jump between Chrome and Evernote and watching videos and email. Pretty much any multitasking this thing was able to handle. I was also able to do a little bit of video editing in Premiere, and I was able to edit 1080p video on the Stealth just fine, though I did have a little bit of issue with 4K as to be expected. I could actually still edit a 4K timeline, but I'd have to drop the playback quality way down. I was able to do some light gaming with the Stealth. I could play Rocket League at 60 frames per second on low to medium HD settings. I could play Battlegrounds, though it really didn't run very well. This really isn't targeted to gamers, though it's made by Razer, mainly because of that integrated Intel HD graphics system. It's just not powerful enough to do a lot of heavy GPU-intensive tasks. However, with all that being said, because this thing does support Thunderbolt over USB Type-C, plugging in a Razer Core with a decent GPU in there totally changes the story. At our office, we paired the Stealth with a Razer Core with a 980 Ti inside, and the results were totally different. We were able to render 4K video in Premiere 80% faster and play back that 4K video in the timeline at full resolution flawlessly. We were able to go back and play Battlegrounds at high settings and easily maintain 60 frames per second throughout, as well as go back and play Rocket League with ultra high settings and get some crazy high frame rates. Obviously, I know with the Razer Core, you're paying an additional price for that piece of hardware plus a GPU. But I know plenty of people who have a beastly gaming rig in their dorm room or apartment and a puny little laptop, or the opposite with a heavy desktop replacement laptop with no desktop inside their apartment or dorm room. The Razer Core kind of gives you the best of both worlds. You can have a super slim, lightweight portable laptop, but take it back to your dorm room or apartment, plug in one cable, and turn it into a beastly gaming rig. So let's get down to it. This is a $1,400 Ultrabook, and for that price, you expect a couple of things. You want a well-built laptop with good specs, and a computer that'll handle pretty much anything that you're gonna throw at it, that's also gonna be slim and lightweight and portable. And I think that the Razer Blade Stealth checks all those boxes. The 2017 Blade Stealth is almost the laptop of my dreams. I love how portable it is. I love that I can take it around with me pretty much anywhere. I liked how it performed. And despite my issues with the screen and the integrated graphics system, I really can't recommend this thing more. Especially if you're paying a premium price like this, $1,400. You want something that's gonna last you 4 years of college and well beyond that. And I think this thing will definitely stand the test of time. So what do you guys think of the 2017 Razer Blade Stealth? I've had a blast using this thing over the past few weeks, and I'd love to hear what you guys have to say in the comments down below. Thanks so much for watching this video, guys. It's been a pleasure once again. I'm Robert Rosenfeld from Techno Buffalo, and I'll see you guys in the next video.